After hiding in Santa's sack, Buddy, a baby at an orphanage, went to North Pole. Later, as an adult raised by elves, Santa permits him to travel to New York City to locate Walter Hobbs, his biological father. He didn't even know Buddy was born, and he is on Santa's naughty list for being a cold hearted jerk. How does a human raised by Santa's little helpers adjust to city life? Can Buddy the elf spread cheer without driving everyone crazy? Let's watch the movie recap of Elf. Welcome to Movie Spotlight. At an orphanage on Christmas Eve, an abandoned baby crawls into Santa Claus' sack and is unintentionally transported back to the North Pole. Inspired by the label on his nappy, the elves find the baby and name him Buddy. Buddy was adopted by Papa Elf, who nurtures him as his own. Papa Elf gives the sleigh, which flies only through the Christmas spirit, not only by reindeers. A lot of people in the South don't believe in Santa Claus, so Papa Elf says he has attached the Kringle 3000, a 500 reindeer powered jet turbine engine that makes the sleigh crank it over. Buddy grows up thinking he is an elf despite his size and lack of elf like abilities. For example, Buddy is not too fast like other elves. One day, Buddy eavesdrops on elves talking and realizes he is only human. According to Papa Elf, Buddy's birth parents are Walter Hobbs and Susan Wells. Before she died, Susan placed Buddy for adoption, and Walter, who is now a children's book publisher in New York City, is not aware that Buddy even exists. Buddy decides to go to New York to find his father. Before he leaves for New York, Santa gives Buddy some advice. The first thing is to avoid eating chewing gums he sees on the street, as they are not free candies. Secondly, there are 30 raised pizzas. People claim they are original, but the real one's on the 11th. Thirdly, if he sees a sign that says Peep Show, it doesn't mean they are letting anyone in. He also mentions that his father Walter is on the naughty list, but he leaves the North Pole and heads to New York City. Once he reaches the New York City, he admires every simple thing. He's friendly to everyone he sees and enjoys shoe polishing, and his innocence is revealed when he congratulates the servers working in the shop that is named World's Best Cup of Coffee, as they have made it. He eats chewing gums stuck on the street pole and enjoys running in revolving doors. Finally, he discovers Walter's workplace, the Empire State Building. He says that Papa Elf sent Buddy to meet Walter. Still, the receptionist and the employees mistake him for a Christmas gram courier. When Buddy meets Walter, he reveals that he is his son born to him and Susan Wells, and she didn't tell him. Buddy is then forced out. Buddy then stumbles into Gimbel's department store, where he is scared to step on the escalator and excited to see big human toilets for the first time. Buddy is mistaken as his employee by Winter Paradise employer. His employer informed him that Santa is coming tomorrow at 10 a.m., but he is excited to meet the real Santa and believes that he is the one who is going to visit tomorrow. Then comes Joey, a cynical store employee, the first girl Buddy likes, but he remains overnight, turning the store into a winter paradise for Santa's visit. Walter is married to Emily and they have a son named Michael. Walter never spends time with his family. Walter thinks twice about what Buddy mentioned about Walter and him at his office. Buddy takes a Christmas present to Walter but is already blocked at the entrance and forced out. The employer was astonished at the Christmas decorations made and unaware that Buddy did all those except Joey. Buddy exposes the store Santa as a scammer the following day, sparkling a furious altercation that ends in his arrest. Walter receives a phone call from the police station about Buddy. He reluctantly releases Buddy from custody, takes him straight away to the hospital, and consents to the DNA test, proving that Buddy is indeed his son. The doctor encourages Walter to bring Buddy home so he can meet his son Michael and his wife Emily. Emily insists they give Buddy a chance, even though Walter and Michael are uneasy about his strange behavior. Following the failure of their most recent book, Walter's publishing company is currently facing difficulties. Walter is under pressure from Fulton Greenway, his boss, to devise a winning idea by Christmas Eve. Michael gradually comes to like Buddy, particularly after Buddy defeats a gang of bullies in a snowball fight. Michael encourages Buddy to ask Joey out, and the two become closer. Walter finds it difficult to have Buddy at home. It is suggested by Emily that he take Buddy to Walter's office along with him, and he does. Walter wants to send Buddy to the mailroom to avoid the disturbance around him, and he does. Walter decides to meet the famous ghostwriter Miles Flinch. Meanwhile, Buddy gets along with his new friend in the mailroom and slowly he gets along with all the employees down there in the mailroom. As committed, Buddy takes Joey on a date and enjoys their entire night together visiting the world's best coffee shop, which Joey disliked as the coffee was crappy, and they together enjoyed the ride in the revolving doors and ice skating. Famous ghostwriter Miles Flinch visits the office. Buddy unintentionally interrupts the meeting that Walter has set up with Miles. Buddy unintentionally offends Flinch by assuming that he is an elf due to his dwarfism. Walter is incensed as a furious Flinch storms out. Walter loses his temper and snaps at Buddy, causing Buddy to leave the office in tears. Buddy at home leaves a note to his father and goes away. Ideas for a new book are found in Flynn's abandoned notepad, which Walter and his colleagues find. Michael finds Buddy's notes and then comes to Walter, breaking the news of Buddy's disappearance as Walter is giving Greenway the pitch. After acknowledging his error, Walter resigns and searches for his son Buddy. Buddy notices the sleigh landing from the sky. A lack of Christmas spirit has caused Santa's sleigh to crash land in Central Park where Buddy finds it. Santa clarifies that the sleigh cannot fly without the engine. Buddy finds Walter and Michael again after retrieving the engine. They go with him to meet Santa. Michael, who understands that Santa's sleigh flies only when people create the Christmas spirit. Michael uses Santa's naughty list to show the TV teams outside the park that he is who he says he is. The Central Park Rangers pursue the sleigh while Buddy works to fix the engine. Joey saves the day by directing a passionate performance of Santa Claus is Coming to Town for the audience and the watchers at home with Michael's help to create Christmas spirit among them. Their combined faith gives the sleigh in Christmas spirit to run without an engine, enabling Santa to finish his deliveries. A children's book based on Buddy's exploits becomes their first bestseller after Buddy and Walter launch their publishing business the next Christmas. After Buddy and Joey get married, they bring their daughter Susie to see Papa Elf at the North Pole.